Welcome back to action from North versus South at the BORC. Bloemfontein Off-Road Racing Club have put together an amazing track here today, and the 65s are about to get out there for their first heat of action. Expect to see some huge fights between KwaZulu-Natal's top riders taking on Gauteng and the Western Cape, and the rest of the provinces all into the mix as well. But expect to see a big battle at the front end. Cruz Martin will be one who'll be looking to try and get to the front, along with Evan Frost. Trent Valsecki into the mix as well. And it looks like a start of note there from Cruz Martin as he heads into turn one, getting that spear hole shot. A couple of riders down in the hole shot corner. So they're going to fall right to the back of the field. Remember, this is the biggest field we've got out there. Well, one of the biggest, particularly in the junior categories. 65cc showing that the future of the sport is looking very good. Four riders side by side as they go down into completing the first half of the lap. And these guys run on the full circuit, not just on the small mini circuit that the 50cc's were on. So you're going to see a huge battle. And right now it's led out by the number 10, Cruz Martin. He's got some pressure coming from behind from Evan Frost, Christian Belling in there as well. A nice start from Logan Lloyd as well, and Ruben Kaywood as they start to make their way to the front end. Look out for Trent Valsecki on the 110. So it's battle of the 10s there basically. Valsecki's at the front. He now takes the lead ahead of Cruz Martin, but slowly but surely starting to reel them in there. Look out in the background. That's the fire bike of Byron Bradbury. Not too far behind them though. Look out as well. Evan Frost slowly but surely starting to make his way into that mix. You can see him just in the background, slowly but surely catching these top three. Fire bike at this point just giving himself a bit of breathing room there, Byron Bradbury. And then you can see the rest of them coming through there. The 212 having a good start there. Casey Tilley, local man. Of course, he'll be looking to try and use that local knowledge to his advantage. Watch out in the background as well. Just saw 234 Cassie Van Zyl slowly but surely making his way to the front as well and looking to try and catch Valsecki. Valsecki over the big jumps. These 65cc's incredibly to see how much airtime they get with the slightly smaller wheels and the lack of power compared to the bigger bikes we're going to see later on in the show. But needless to say, they held nothing back and they try and find their own little lines, and that's exactly what they do. Some guys not quite getting it exactly right, as you can see there with a couple of riders going down. Look at that though. Can you see the airtime coming out of these little riders on these 65cc's? So Cruz Martin in second, cruising at the moment, but not quite on the pace as the 110 out front. And it looks like Trent Valsecki is just dominating things at the moment. He could be the man to wrap things up here for this first heat if he can. Let's see if not he can keep it all together though. He's got to try and fend off the attack coming from the 10 bike. And as I said, keeping an eye on the background for that number 15. I'll tell you something, there's some maneuvering happening there from Evan Frost. Rider down, and looks like our Marburn Energy medical team coming straight into play there. A little bit of assistance from them, as well as from the local ambulance department that have helped us out this weekend. You can't go racing without those kind of people, and of course without the marshals involved in these events as well. Fantastic to see that we've got huge support here from all over the Free State to ensure that we can go racing. Valsecki got a bit of a problem. It looks like he might be slowing down slightly and being caught there by both Frost and by Tilley, and also by Cruz Martin. So it looks like Trent Valsecki's days could be numbered. Last lap board is out. Is he going to be able to hang on? No, he's not. But there you can see there's a change-up. The front end is now Evan Frost. Frost is at the front and he's going to try and hang on for this one to see if he can keep it all together. He's being pressurized slightly there by Trent Valsecki. It looks like up in the second place now is Valsecki, but down to third was the 10-man. And I can tell you Cruz Martin won't be happy with that. He'll be looking to turn things around maybe a little bit later on. Flags out though, and it's Frost who gets the victory. And look how tight it was for second. Nicely done. And through the pack as well. The rest of the riders coming through there. So we look at how things wrap up there in that heat. But of course in the overalls, more importantly, Evan Frost hangs on with a double win on the day, beating out Jack Anderson for second place and Cassie Van Zyl eventually in third. Cruz Martin was in fourth ahead of Casey Tilley, Ruben Kaywood and Logan Lloyd up in seventh.
So in heat one, I did have a great start. I came out of the start first. I got third in the whole shot. In step up, I had a big crash. I went over step up, then I cased it. Then my backswing arm went like to the side. Then I landed on the side. The bike landed on my back.
And it was a nice race, and I hope for better now on the second heat. And track was slippery and some people got hurt, and now I hope we all will get fine and just ride lekker.
That's what all those moms and dads and the supporters are hoping for as well there, Dupria. And everybody rides lekker. And now we're looking forward to a lekker race here for 85cc's and Pro Minis combined. Difference here being basically the size of the wheels. Pro Minis have got a full-size motocross wheel, and the 85cc junior class with slightly smaller wheels. Not as small as the 65s and 50cc's, but needless to say, non-stop action expected with another big field heading down into the whole shot corner. And who's going to have that whole shot? What a start. Yo, incredible stuff coming out of, looks like it was Jordan van Wyk on the 747 who managed to squeeze through there. And you can see he's putting the pressure on right from the word go. Ethan Lowe on the 38 special in that mid-pack. Looks like he might be leading things out there in the junior class, but there's a big field of juniors, so we'll keep an eye on him. Casey Lloyd will be in there, and Logan Lloyd. And take nothing away from Geert van Wyk, who of course is always a big contender in the junior category. But it is Jordan van Wyk who's fighting hard there, and it looks like it was actually Blade Tilley who got the whole shot on the 125. Number 125 there going through and just beating out everybody to that first corner, getting the spear whole shot, but now being pulled a margin of note from second place to first. 123 coming through there as well. Good start from Blade Tilley, as we said, but on his tail is the 123 bike, and you can see that he's having to do some work. And then Brooklyn Lilliford, look out for the lady rider in the 85cc Pro Minis as well. In the mix there, she'll be involved, I'm sure, a little bit later on in the ladies category as well, doing dual duties today for her province. Big field coming through, and they're all fighting hard. You can see it's not going to be an easy day in the saddle. Matt Correa getting involved in the mix there. He's just inside the top 10. As they come over this big step up, you can see these guys are enjoying life and loving the conditions that have been put together here from the track preparation and, of course, the team that have done all that prep to get this circuit ready to go for today's racing. It looks like it's starting to form up into some really nice little corners. The ruts are starting to form, berms are starting to form, so the racing should be pretty impressive from here on out. And Wyk already into a bit of a fight of note there, and he's starting to get the pressure being put onto him by Blade Tilley. Blade Tilley's just behind him there, as you can see, on 125. But Van Wyk controlling things from the front end, and it looks like he's going to be a tough man to beat there for Ridgeway Racing. On the gas though, in second, looking for an opportunity there to possibly spoil the day. Those two are going to be fighting hard. Look at the air time as well coming out of these 85cc's. Amazing to see them hit that massive tabletop at the top end of the circuit and clear it with absolutely no worries at all. Further back in the pack, they're starting to also get into the mix there. Nice little fight starting to rage between our 85cc junior category riders. And at this stage, Ethan Lowe with a little bit of pressure coming from Logan Lloyd and also coming from Geert van Wyk. Those two have stepped it up very nicely here at North versus South, and certainly using their experience that they've had so far in the season to get now into the mix for the big events. Season riders also just battling with the conditions, battling with the lines out there as well. That was the 7-7 bike, I think, going through there, and you can see just having a little bit of issues. But I can tell you, it's not done and dusted just yet, even though there's a bit of a margin that's opened up. Looking as well as Tyler De Bruin starts to come into the mix too. You see some manoeuvring happening there from Tyler De Bruin. He'll be looking forward to an opportunity of possibly an overall on the podium. There goes Lloydie. They'll be pushing hard, looking for honours in the Gauteng team and to get as many points as possible to help Gauteng try and retain this championship. Remember, they are the current holders of the North versus South title. And Wyk hanging on. He's got some pressure though. It's coming in the form of Skylar de Kock now. Skylar de Kock also into the mix. But there is Tilley too on the 125. They're not too far behind. You can see them all lining up to try and pick up the latter part of this as they start the final lap. Can Van Wyk just hang on for the last couple of laps? Looks like he's doing that. The Ridgeway Racing man has done an amazing job here today. And looks like he might be wrapping things up here in total. The first victory is going to go his way. He's going to be a tough man to beat when he's in this kind of form. And even Tilley on his home track is going to be hard-pressed to catch Jordan Van Wyk in this form. Flags out. Van Wyk takes the victory. And that should be enough there to hold on to the points as well. And a great ride there from the Ridgeway Race Wild Man. He finishes up at the top as well overall with 2 race wins on the day, beating out Ashton Martin for second. Blade Tilley finishes in third with Matt Correa, Trell Carter, Ronald Graven and Aidan Henley, your top 7. In the junior class, it's also a great battle, and once again, double points there for Ethan Lowe with 2 victories, beating out Geert van Wyk, Logan Lloyd, Ivana Fenter, our lady rider, in 4th ahead of Casey Lloyd, Jason Fenter and Jaden Peterson. Join us after the break for more action from North versus South.